Today marks 1548 day of daily lessons, day reflections, and today I speak about the same topic as yesterday and doing the right thing in the wrong place. Trying to do virtuous thing in the wrong place. And I think that knowing that sometimes you can do the right thing in the wrong place and that will lead to pain, discomfort. Because if you put endurance in something that really doesn't work, you will really prolong your suffering, prolong your pain. So being able to quit on the things that doesn't work are extremely important. Virtuous, I think that's such a beautiful word, and you need to be strong to be virtuous. Weakness, there's no weakness in being able to really understand. Okay, where is my virtue, and do I put my virtue in the right place? So we will share five examples where easy examples where it could be that we put virtue and we want to be virtuous and we want to be great. We want to show example, lead by example. But at the same time, some places are not supposed to show virtue. So number one is endurance in a doomed relationship. We want to endure, we want to show that we care, and when we stay in a relationship so much longer than we needed. Sometimes we able to ask right questions and it's like, what is the reality of this relationship? Because we potentially could live in a dream how a relationship is supposed to be, we could potentially see the potential of a person, but probably you already know that we're supposed to live not with potential, we're supposed to live with the person that you have in front of you. And if you're not able to live with the person that is in front of you and you cling to the potential, how long you will stay clinged to that potential? And that's again endurance. Because sometimes the relationship could lose trust, respect, values are different, vision are different, aspirations are different, non-negotiables are different, but you still endure and start to try to really make things work, even though that you know that will not work. So the virtue of endurance is not right in this place. Number two is discipline in a career you hate. And it's interesting this one when people are pursuing success in a career. Sometimes people, okay, they join the first position in that career and they pursued studies. And now they finished maybe bachelor's, maybe master's, maybe even more. And now, after 6 years investing in that education, now they have a job and they work in that job for 2 3 years. Now they know that they don't like that career, but you already invested 9 years, 9 years of discipline, effort. And it's sometimes I think that it's hard for people to really understand that if I give up on 9 years, it's better than giving up 18 years to come, 20 years to come. And it's that past giving up of that is very, very difficult. And I think that is again when you put effort, now you move from lesser position to a little bit higher position and more position, and potentially you get even more into that field, and potentially you just are in high functional misery that we put ourselves in that misery. Because I know I have been in that position when I based on other advice I was going to one direction, but after a while, when I was able to really understand myself more, build more awareness, more clarity, I realized that I'm going to the direction whole different direction where I'm supposed to go. And I think that we need to understand that if you put discipline on a career that is actually not for you, will create misery. And being able to quit as soon as possible is the best advice because that's it. Because the longer you wait, the more distance you will create from your actual career. And being able to really say that this is virtuous to be disciplined, but if you're in the wrong career, back what we do, we're creating misery for ourselves. Number three is that optimism in a lost cause. And it could be in anything. It could be in even career, it could be in relations. So as I those already I mentioned, but that could be optimism. But it could be in business. It could be so many different things. It could be sports. So that means we need to understand. Okay, like, do I have that optimism that is not based on reality? One thing that I don't like about optimism is that optimism needs to come with foundation. And where is foundation for optimism? Foundation for optimism is change. What I mean by change is that you grow, you develop, you improve, not waiting for something else to change. You're looking for yourself to change. Because when you're changing, when you're improving, when you get better, now you have an optimism. Because that, again, that is a false optimism. Hoping things will change when you not change. That is toxic optimism. A positive optimism is when you actually do the things necessary to change, but sometimes even could be a lost cause. Again, we need to look into and validate if things are working. Because if you look into that, nothing is moving at all, not an inch. Sometimes we need to understand maybe it's a lost cause, and our optimism is not the best thing because that optimism potentially prolong our suffering and the thing that is not for us. Number four is consistency in a wrong goal, and this is all of them are very inter intertwined because consistency in a goal, a wrong goal, is very partly is with optimism because if you're more optimistic, of course, you have probably be more consistent. So consistency is an amazing thing. Without consistency, you're not able to really bring compound effect in your life, and compound effect is one of the most important things in life because when you really add small things every single day, compounds to extraordinary things. There is no need to do complex things. You need to do consistent things long enough. But if you are on the wrong goal, for different reasons and we don't quit that and we're still consistently doing the other wrong goal and consistently pursuing the wrong goal, again we are going to a different direction, and that virtue of consistency will us lead to farther away from that goal. So quitting is really the best thing at that moment, not weakness. It shows strength because I think that sometimes people think that quitting is weakness. But now, when I really think about quitting is strength because that's coming from clarity, from understanding. And majority of people don't understand themselves. Probably 99% of people do not understand themselves in the level that they could or maybe should. And I think that's again where the consistency and wrong goal coming from. The last one thing that I would love to mention is that forgiveness without accountability. That's one thing, that one virtue that doesn't lead anywhere. If you forgive someone and you allow other person to come into your life again who don't repent on their actions, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry they did it," but you can tell, are this person changing because um, of your message, or say this is one non-negotiable, this is I don't like it. People say that I'm sorry just to really to be nice, just to have you in their life, but you can tell that they are keep doing the same mistake over and over again, and there's no accountability. So forgiving other person without accountability is not a virtue. One thing I think that is very, very important to understand when thinking about forgiveness is requiring some consequences. You can forgive someone, but you need to understand that other person needs to feel consequences. If there's no consequences after their misaction, their choice, because if you kept the same thing that said it one time and second time and third time, they know exactly what you do not like, what is not negotiables. That is their choice to do something against it. So that means that we need to really lead to consequences. And if there's no consequences, they probably will never feel accountability, and forgiveness without accountability leads to virtue that will damage our emotional, mental, physical, financial well-being altogether. And we potentially enable that person to do that thing over and over again. So there's probably much more example, but today I just wanted to really give a couple examples where virtue, right virtue, like consistency, optimism, forgiveness, whereas beautiful things could potentially backfire if we actually putting that in the wrong place. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.